In the pitch black of a storm drain, a bobcat crouched low. Her prey had vanished down a side tunnel, and now she was lost. Water trickling around her paws. Above, a shaft of daylight through the grate. But it was night, and she saw only darkness. The scent of rabbit was gone.
What is that? Scratching under my kitchen floor. There's something alive under the house. It sounds big. I can hear claws.
City maintenance worker Carl Dawson knelt by the roadside grate, flashlight in hand, listening.
What the? There's something alive down there. Eyes glowing right back at me. Dispatch. I got eyes on a large cat in the drain. Send animal control.
Animal control officer Elena Torres got the call just after midnight. She arrived within the hour, headlights cutting through the dark.
Show me where. Is it still there?
Carl pointed to the grate. Through the bars, a pair of amber eyes watched them back.
That's a bobcat, way out of her range. Look at those eyes.
How the heck did a bobcat get stuck in a storm drain?
Chasing prey, probably. One wrong turn, and she's trapped in the dark. Water rising. We're not flushing her out. Stress like that could kill her. Bobcats are fragile under pressure.
I got the drain maps on my tablet, but there's a full printout in the van. Let me grab it.
They spread the map on the hood of the patrol car. The blue glow of the tablet tracing the maze of tunnels beneath the street.
Captain Hayes, I've got a bobcat in the drain. I want to open selected exits and monitor. Keep it non-invasive.
Non-invasive. Standard protocol is to flush her out. That animal's been in there too long.
If we flush, she might drown or retreat deeper. Give me 2 days. If she doesn't move, we'll do it your way.
Hayes gave a grudging okay. Elena folded the tablet and looked at Carl. Let's get those cameras ready.
We open these 3 grates. Here, here, and here. They lead straight to the green belt.
I'll get the crowbar. Here is hoping she follows the light.
Carl wrenched open the first grate, the rusted metal shrieking. Inside, the tunnel carried the chill scent of mud and something alive. Elena lowered a motion-sensing infrared camera on a cable, its lens dipping into the darkness like a silent witness.
There, huddled at the back, she's terrified. See how her ears are flat?
Torres, you've got 48 hours. If that animal hasn't moved by then, we flush. No more debate.
She's just not moving. She's curled against the wall like she's given up.
She's wild. Staying still has kept her alive. We wait.
The monitor glowed in the dark tent as hours passed. The bobcat hadn't shifted more than a few inches. Day 1 ended in silence, the monitor still showing the same huddled shape. The 48-hour clock was already ticking. Day 2 began with the same image on the monitor. A bobcat pressed against cold concrete, refusing to budge.
She hasn't moved more than a few feet. If she doesn't start exploring soon.
We've still got time, but the folks in the neighborhood are starting to notice.
By mid-morning, Lydia stood on her front lawn, phone in hand, watching a cluster of neighbors point at the storm drain.
I called 3 times. They said they're watching, but I can still hear it scratching at night. My kids won't sleep.
A local news van pulled up. The story was spreading.
Torres, the calls are stacking up. The mayor's office just rang. You sure you don't want to flush?
I am sure. Flushing now will panic her. She'll run deeper and we'll lose her completely.
On the screen, the bobcat's eyes glowed in the infrared, motionless. The clock continued to tick. By late afternoon, the sun dipped, and the bobcat still hadn't moved. The pressure was squeezing in from all sides. By day 3, Lydia's post had gone viral. Number Save the Bobcat trended nationwide. The public demanded action. A television crew arrived, then another. The quiet suburban street became a media circus.
Torres, I've got a mayor on one line and a news anchor on the other. This is a disaster.
Elena, look at this radar. That is a solid red wall of a storm. 3 inches forecast.
The storm would hit within hours. Flash flood warnings were already issued. The drain system would surge.
We keep the grates open. If we seal them, she's trapped with no chance.
Torres, I am ordering you, seal those grates before the streets flood. That's final.
Elena, if you go against Hayes, you could lose your job. Is this worth it?
I didn't become an animal control officer to let a frightened cat drown. Yes, it's worth it.
The first drops of rain hit the grate. The clock had just sped up. Within minutes, the rain hammered down. Water poured through the grates, swelling the drain channel into a rushing current.
She's moving. She's scrambling onto that narrow ledge. The water's rising too fast.
Grates are clear, but debris is piling up. I can't guarantee they'll stay open.
Torres, you are flooding the intersection. Shut those grates now.
Shut them. She drowns. Open them. The street floods. No right call.
Carl fought the rising water, wrenching a jammed grate open, just enough to keep the passage clear. On the monitor, the Bobcat's claws scraped against the concrete ledge, her body trembling as the surge swirled below.
We leave them open. Everyone stand by. We give her every second.
Last grate is clear. If she swims 10 yards, she'll see daylight.
Water lapped at the ledge. The Bobcat hugged the wall, eyes on the light. Time was running out. Then, without warning, the Bobcat launched herself off the ledge, not toward the light, but deeper into the tunnel, against the current.
No, no, no. She's going the wrong way, deeper into the system.
In the grainy footage, a flash of her forepaw revealed a jagged gash, blood threading into the murky water.
She's bleeding. I kept her in there too long. This is on me.
Taurus, your approach just put that animal at risk. I am mobilizing the tranquilizer team. Stand down.
Hold up, Captain. She's not lost yet. Look, she's moving toward this old outflow. We forgot about it.
The outflow was years old, partially hidden on the city plans. If the grate was still passable, it opened onto the greenbelt.
Carl, that's a long shot. And she's already bleeding.
Long shots are all we have left. Let me open that grate.
Miles away, the Bobcat's eyes blinked against the dark, her blood trailing behind. Somewhere ahead, a forgotten exit might still hold light.
Taurus, I am done debating. The 48 hours are gone. The animal is bleeding, and the city wants results. You are off this case, effective immediately.
You can't pull me now. She's closer to that outflow than she's ever been. If you sedate her, you'll kill her.
I am ordering you to step aside. Use the tranquilizers or I'll find someone who will, and you'll face discipline.
If I obey, she dies. If I disobey, my career is over. No right choice. None. Carl, that outflow grate, open it now. No one else can know. I'll handle Hayes.
Elena, you are betting your badge on this. If Hayes finds out...
I am betting on her life. Just do it.
I haven't slept in 3 days. My kids cry every night. Please, someone help that animal.
Torres is out. I am taking over. We'll have that animal sedated by nightfall, even if I have to do it myself.
Please, let her find that light. It's the only way out for both of us.
The monitor flickered, then dissolved into white noise. The water had shorted the camera. For hours, no signal. Elena stared at the static, hands limp. The team fell silent. Hayes prepared to call off the search.
The secret grate is open. I am rigging a new camera. Give me 2 minutes.
Carl connected the camera. For a long moment, the screen stayed black. Then a motion alert pinged.
I've got movement. Something's coming through the pipe. It's her. She's alive.
Can you confirm? Is she moving toward the exit?
Yes. Wet, limping. But she's heading straight for the light.
On the new feed, the Bobcat's silhouette emerged from the dark, water streaming off her fur, paw dragging.
She's still in the fight. She's not done.
Hope, barely a flicker for hours, now burned bright in the command tent. By nightfall, the Bobcat had crawled to within 20 meters of the outflow. The storm, however, had other plans. Rain hammered again. Swelling the channel, a surge of black water rushed toward her.
The water's rising again. She's got no ledge. She has to swim.
On the monitor, the Bobcat lunged into the churning current, her head bobbing frantically as she fought to stay above the black water.
She's going under. Elena, she's not coming up.
So much for waiting. That cat is drowning.
For 3 agonizing seconds, the screen showed only swirling water and debris. No one in the tent breathed. Then a wet paw broke the surface, claws scraping against a pipe just meters from the light.
She's alive. She's holding on.
Exhausted, inches from freedom, she dangled between survival and surrender. Outside, the storm raged on, and the night was not over yet. Dawn broke over the city, and with it, the rain finally stopped. A shaft of sunlight cut through the clouds and fell upon the concrete apron of the outflow. On the camera, the Bobcat stirred. Her eyelids blinked open against the unfamiliar light. She shook the water from her whiskers and, with a deliberate, limping step, began padding down the pipe toward the glow.
She's moving. Everyone, stay back. If we spook her now, she could bolt the wrong way.
The team watched the grainy feed, not a breath between them. The Bobcat inched closer, her ribs showing, her ears forward. She paused at the very threshold, nose twitching, as the scent of fresh earth and dew hit her for the first time in 6 days. Elena whispered over the radio, her voice barely a breath.
Wait, let her choose.
For a long heartbeat, the Bobcat stood frozen, caught between the darkness she knew and the blinding world outside. 6 days underground, and all it would take now was a single, irreversible step.
Taurus, I can see her hesitating. Tranquilize her now, before she bolts back into the dark. That is an order.
No, Captain. She's got to choose the light herself. One fright, and she'll drown herself trying to escape us.
You are risking everything. Your career, my trust, and that animal's life, on a hope that she'll do what you want.
Fire me if you want, but I will not be the reason she stops fighting.
Carl stepped up and laid a hand on Elena's shoulder. No words, just a silent pact that they'd carry the gamble together. The entire team froze. Even the birds seemed to hold their song. And then, the Bobcat lifted her paw and placed it into the pool of warm sunlight on the concrete. She didn't retreat. She blinked against the brightness, ears swiveling, tasting the air. One paw solidly on the outside, the rest of her still in the darkness. A creature between 2 worlds. Still, no one dared breathe. The next seconds would either validate a 6-day war of will or break it. Another step, a third, and then her whole body breached the threshold, leaving the dark behind forever. She stood fully illuminated, blinking in the bright morning, water running from her patchy coat, ribs stark with exhaustion. For one horrible heartbeat, she turned her head and peered back into the black mouth of the drain.
Don't you dare go back. Not now. Not after 6 days.
A sparrow launched from the tall grass, instinct fired. The Bobcat bolted, claws scraping concrete, sprinting across the apron into the greenbelt. She vanished into the trees, her spotted coat dissolving into shadows, a ghost returning to the wild. For 3 seconds, utter silence. Then a collective exhale broke like a wave.
She's out. That incredible, stubborn cat walked herself free.
He grabbed Elena in a bear hug, lifting her off the ground, and the team erupted in shouts and laughter.
She chose the light. After everything, she chose the light.
Elena lowered her binoculars, tears cutting clean tracks through the grime on her cheeks.
You did it, Elena. That cat walked herself out because you trusted her instincts when no one else would.
The team surged around them, disbelief melting into something else entirely. Relief, raw and overwhelming. 6 long days in the making.
I had help.
6 days. Elena. 6 days you held the line, while the whole world screamed to flush her out.
Torres, you were right. Good call. We'll review our protocols. This changes things.
A respectful distance away, a news crew captured the scene without fanfare. just a quiet frame of triumph that would travel around the world. Across the street, Lydia watched from her kitchen window, her hand pressed to the glass, the first easy breath she had taken in 6 days.
She's back where she belongs, and maybe so am I.
On a motion-triggered camera in the Greenbelt, the Bobcat paused beside a stream, already beginning to vanish back into the wild. Her 6-day ordeal a fading memory. Within hours, the photo of the healthy Bobcat hunting flooded social feeds, melting the earlier outrage into collective relief. City officials, eager to put the controversy behind them, scheduled a press conference for the next morning.
This revealed a gap in our protocols. I am ordering a review, and I want Elena Torres on the panel.
Then, unexpectedly, Hayes placed a hand on Elena's shoulder, a rare public acknowledgement.
6 days. One lost Bobcat. And now the city is listening.
All of it, the press, the policy shift, started with a scratch under a kitchen floor. The protocol review would take months, but the principle already shifted. Sometimes, the best rescue is no rescue at all. A frightened animal had compelled a city to look down into its drains and reconsider how it shared space with the wild. And in the Greenbelt, the Bobcat stalked a rabbit, her ears twitching, unaware she had become a catalyst for change. It all began with a scratch in the dark. Weeks later, Elena stood before the city council, a screen behind her showing the first image of the Bobcat huddled in the drain.
We propose emergency escape ramps, sloped tunnel walls, and routine wildlife sweeps. A simple, low-cost fix.
She played the compilation of the Bobcat's 6-day ordeal, then cut to the latest motion camera video of her stalking a rabbit in the Greenbelt.
This is the result of letting her walk herself out. She's healthy, hunting, proof that non-invasive works.
The council members leaned forward, watching the healthy Bobcat bound through the grass. A murmur of approval rippled through the chamber. The vote to fund the program was unanimous, a rare, swift decision that surprised everyone, including Elena. From the back of the room, Carl caught Elena's eye and gave a thumbs up, his grin saying more than any speech.
We actually did it. A whole city changed the way it sees its wild neighbors.
The non-invasive model was now official city policy, set to become a template for municipalities across the state. And somewhere in the Greenbelt, a Bobcat licked her paw clean, utterly indifferent to the legacy she had created. Months later, the first retrofitted storm grates were bolted into place across the city, each one bearing a small, deliberate addition, a silhouette of a Bobcat etched into the metal grate, marking a wildlife escape route, a reminder of what had been learned. One morning, Elena crouched by a new grate at the Greenbelt's edge and ran her fingers over the cool metal of the Bobcat emblem.
You started a quiet revolution.
The word had spread. Inquiries from 5 neighboring cities arrived, each requesting details of the non-invasive protocol. Elena was asked to present at a regional conference. Her name, once under scrutiny, was now spoken with respect. She stood at podiums, sharing the footage, but when the applause came, her mind returned to the same image, a terrified Bobcat huddled in a dark drain, water rising, the image that had started it all.
None of this was about me. It was about a claw scratching under a kitchen floor.
The new grates gleamed in the morning sun, each Bobcat emblem a quiet promise that the next lost animal would have a way out. One evening, Elena returned alone to the Greenbelt. She walked off the trail until she found the storm drain opening that had started everything. The cameras were long gone. No noise, just the distant trickle of water. At the edge of the mud, she spotted fresh Bobcat tracks, sharp and unmistakable.
She's still here, hunting right where she belongs.
Elena crouched and touched the prints with her fingertips, the mud cool and real.
Stay wild.
For the first time in months, a genuine smile reached her eyes. She stood, turned, and began walking back toward the city, the weight lifting with every step.
It's over. She's free. And so, finally am I.
Behind her, the Greenbelt hummed with life. The Bobcat somewhere in the trees, wild, unseen, and finally home. Within a year, 5 neighboring cities adopted the non-invasive protocol, rewriting their animal control manuals. Statewide drainage engineering standards shifted, mandating sloped walls and escape ramps in new construction. A study found a 60% drop in trapped animals in the retrofitted systems. The numbers were undeniable, and in the greenbelt, the bobcat stalked a rabbit, her ears twitching, completely unaware she had changed everything. Elena's quiet gamble became a model because she trusted nature to save itself. The mantra spread from city to city: open the exits, lower the cameras, and wait. Drains that were once death traps became wildlife corridors, marked by the bobcat emblem, a simple silhouette etched in metal, born from a scratch under a kitchen floor. The night the bobcat walked out, she proved that sometimes the quietest solution is the strongest. And somewhere in the dark, a terrified animal found light, because a few stubborn people refused to give up. A new grate gleams in the morning sun, the bobcat emblem glowing against the concrete. The same paw that once reached toward light is now a symbol carved into every new drain.
I haven't heard scratching in a long time. Just birds. It's peaceful.
Children on a field trip peer down into a drain, their teacher explaining the escape route designed for wild visitors. The old drain that once held her echoes now only with trickling water, no trace of panic. In the greenbelt, the bobcat ghosts through the trees, her spotted coat a shadow among shadows. She is gone, but the city remembers. The emblem marks the pact, a way out, not a trap, a promise kept. A faint silhouette moves through the woods at dusk. Maybe her legacy. Freedom, earned after 6 days in the dark, now an ordinary part of the city's rhythm. The camera drifts over the city at dawn, the greenbelt a dark ribbon threading between the streets. Dew sparkles on every leaf. Birdsong rises from the trees, a chorus filling the morning. A bobcat track in the mud catches the first slant of light, sharp and fresh. A worker tightens the last bolt on a new grate, the bobcat emblem glinting in the morning sun. In the distance, a silhouette moves through the trees, a fluid shadow. Maybe her, maybe the next one. The city awakes to its alarms, unaware of the quiet, permanent shift beneath its streets. Another track, another mark in the mud, proof that the wild is still here. The sun climbs higher, the birds sing. A new day begins, a little more open. 6 days in the dark. All she needed was the light left open, and the light stayed open. Here, at the greenbelt edge where she finally broke free, the morning sun rests without tension, full and warm. Inside the drain, water moves slowly, murmuring against the concrete. A gentle trickle, no longer a threat. Wind stirs the leaves overhead, and the mud preserves bobcat tracks, sharp and fresh as the moment they were laid. A single bird call cuts the silence, then another answers from the treetops, a distant duet. The sun climbs higher, and the concrete threshold floods with forgiving golden light. On the new grate, the bobcat emblem gleams, a small, permanent promise of escape for the next lost animal. The tracks lead away from the opening, deeper into the greenbelt, where the wild remains undisturbed and whole. A silhouette slides through the dappled shadows, a bobcat hunting at dawn, perhaps the one who changed everything. The drain opening stands empty now, framed by tall grass and the soft, layered sounds of a waking forest. The frame lingers on this quiet threshold as the light deepens, then gently fades to black.